Hey, folks. Thanks for stopping by Kaiser's Castle. Grab yourself your favorite adult libation, your favorite soda, your favorite coffee or tea, and take a seat on my big orange couch. Today, I somehow stumbled down a rabbit hole. Sometimes I do that. And I look at things, and everybody knows out there I am no expert. I just know what works, and I know certain things. And I went to a few sites. Don't ask me why. I was just perusing and it popped up in my feed. This kind of happens sometimes, just like that one on the Area 51 that I did two shows on. Um, this one was kind of interesting though because it was talking about ammunition, and by no means am I an ammunition expert, okay? But I have seen a large amount of certain types of ammunition over my, I don't know, what is it, 33 years of doing what I do for a living. And the most interesting part for me is as I look at things, I start thinking. And I'm like, that's not right. Okay. Now, up on the screen, I have a card, and I'll get into it. This is just for 5.56, folks. Only for 5.56 by 45, which is the American. It's similar to a 223 round. They're not quite the same, but you can use one and you can use two in the other. That's all I'll say on it. I really don't want to get into specifics because ballistics, I'm just not going to deal with on this. I want this to be a short, succinct thing. Now, in this picture, you have ball, M193. You have a tracer. Notice you have an orange tip. Sometimes it'll have a reddish tip. You have a dummy round. And we're going to go through these certain things because you can't rely just on color coding, and also how on this particular dummy round, the M199, number 3, you have like dents on the side. That's to say there's no powder in it, okay? Usually there's not even a primer. Not usually, always there will not be a primer. There'll be a dummy primer for your firing pin to impinge upon. It's nothing, and whatever. Then you have a blank, an M200. Now this one shows a black tip. Believe it or not, coloring on a blank is irrelevant because that crimp that you see on the top of it, that is the key, and you'll see this from a later picture. Now green tip, that's ball ammunition, M855. Now this is where I sort of went off the rails looking at this guy, and I was like, okay. He said a bunch of stuff about what this round will do, and it is a penetration rod. Okay, it's not armor piercing. And we'll get into armor piercing in a little bit. And it's the M855, which is, if memory serves, a 62 grain bullet. If I'm wrong on that, please feel free to make a comment, but I'm pretty sure. And it's because they changed the rifling in the M16 family when they brought about the M16A2 and then the M4. Okay? This is going back to me leaving the Army. The M193 was the common round. It's 50-some grain. Like I said, I can't remember that far back, but I'm pretty sure they changed it to 62 because it had instead of a 1 in 7 twist of the old M16 A1s, the M16 A2 went to 1 in 9 twist, and so it needed more charge to get the twist going correctly and maintain accuracy. Same with this tracer round, the M856. That was designed just like the other tracer, the M196. The M856 was designed for the 1 in 9 twist. That's the difference, okay? Let's not get this twisted. Now, over on number 7, where you're going to see this round is a short range target ammunition, okay? The blue tip on it denotes that it's plastic, actually. That bullet is plastic, that projectile. Some of them, like this one, plastic body. I've also seen German variants of it that are all blue. Okay, so you don't have the brass on the bottom and the little white plastic body. The German ones I've seen, they have it complete. It has less powder charge, and it's for shooting targets, but not at the distance that, let's say, an M855 would shoot. Okay? Like I said, an M855 is nothing more than a penetrator. Now, that ball ammunition does not have a penetrator in it. It is nothing but lead and copper, or not, and brass, or copper covering it. Damn, mind dumping. Love how I just switched that up. I'm looking at the body of the bullet and thinking brass, and it was copper. Sorry about that. Anyways, instead of saying copper. Anyways, so it's a copper bullet. It's solid except for the lead core on it, the lead inside. The M855 has a steel core. It's like a little pin in it, and it's covered by lead and the copper sleeve. I guess that's the best way to put it. You guys can get, I should have got a diagram of how the bullet is, and now I can't because I've already started the show and I won't be able to find a good representation. So, here's another breakdown. You have ball again. The colors on this, do not pay attention to, okay? Those colors are just there. The red is always symbolizing the copper, okay, from the brass to the copper. That's all they're doing. And you'll see written out what they are. Now, rifle grenade, notice it's a red rose petal crimp, just like the other one that was black. Sometimes you'll see them with red or orange on it. But that, like I said, that rose petal crimp is going to be what annotates it. Now, as I stated, the tracer round. This is only showing you up into a point. It says orange. And sometimes it's red. Notice how it's showing you this. Now it says plain silver tip, or plain tip silver cartridge case. And what that means is the cartridge case itself is silver. Armorers use this round. It is a high pressure test round, an HPT. They use that to test if they're doing certain things to the weapon. That's all that's for, folks. So let's not get that twisted. Now here's an example of a different color. The red and the way that they've done it. Notice how it looks. Well, you probably can't see. I was moving my mouse around it. Just look at it. You saw the black from that one picture. Now you're seeing it on a red. Okay? The point being is, now you're seeing different things. All right? On this one, you see a dummy. It's inert. And the cartridge is all black. Okay? You also have some frangible rounds. It's ball frangible. You also have match rounds. Those are ones for competition. Notice this funky blank round. It's an odd blank round. I've never seen it in my life. Just being very honest with you. And the armor piercing round. That's got a black top on it. That bullet does exist. Now, armor piercing does not mean it's going to go through tanks. It's not going to go through. It probably will shed a lot of energy going through threat level 4 vest, and it may or may not penetrate. It's really, this one, like I said, 7.62 I think would have a greater chance of penetration unless you were like point blank almost. They're designed to take multiple hits, so I'm iffy on that. Okay, I just want to be very clear. And armor piercing does not mean, now it will have increased penetration through soft body skin, soft vehicles, i.e. a car going through an engine block. You're going to get an increased performance on it, but it's not going to go through full on armor. And that's sort of the reason why I had to get into this because a guy was saying a penetration round, that one in particular, will go through Humvees and stuff, up armored Humvees, which it wouldn't do. It's just not going to happen. So here's what the Marine Corps has changed to. And this is nothing more than the M855A1. It is identical. Notice the silver tip. The silver tip is nothing more than the penetrator. Okay, it's got a solid copper body. So it's almost like a solid copper solid slug that you're using. And it was basically put in to be more green, so there's no lead going into the earth. That's actually, but the design is good. And the penetrating tip is more like the Soviets style of it. I'll take a picture. I've got a couple that have shed their cores, and I'll take a picture of that sometime, and I'll put it up on a random video somewhere whenever I do another one. But I've got them on a magnet, so I don't lose them. I got to find a magnet. The point is, this is a penetrator. This is not armor piercing. It will penetrate a little better. It'll maintain velocity when the copper portion starts to flare out. Will it do much damage? Probably not. It may penetrate some. It will. All of these rounds, not all of them. All these rifle rounds that actually fire a real legit gun will penetrate soft body armor. Okay, that's level 3 and down. Level 4 and up, now you're talking about plates, and the plates are designed to deaccelerate so the Kevlar can grab it and flatten the front end of the bullet. That's how Kevlar works. If there's no deformation on that tip, that steel tip, if there's no deformation, then maybe it could get through. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it maybe can. Okay? But like I said, there's flukes, there's things I've seen in my 33 years that I have no ability to explain because it doesn't make sense. But it's happened. So with that being said, I'm keeping it short just because I wanted to make sure I put my thoughts out here, and they're not the end all be all. If you have other thoughts or you have other questions, please feel free to comment in my little area. And I'm a firm believer. I hate experts because experts are like, anyways, they're found wrong a lot. And everybody just lives their lives, and as we grow, we learn more. With that being said, thanks for stopping by Kaiser's Castle. The first song you heard was Always from Axion Ghost, and that was Arabian Nights. And now my outro will be Night of the Living Lead. It's a pretty funny little jam that he created, and I look forward to playing it for you. I don't know if I played it yet. God bless, be well, be safe. Thank you for stopping by Kaiser's Castle. As you guys are leaving, once you're gone, I'll be raising the drawbridge. Shuff out.